Well, you all are in for a treat. I am here with Don, the Renegade Gardener. Hi, Don.
Hi, Jessica. Great to be here. Great to be back in Fort Wayne. I've talked at this show numerous times over the years, but it's been a while.
Okay.
So
and you're coming back with some really great information and bringing your expertise to the stage.
That's right. The Purdue Garden Stage is one of the big features here at this beautiful show, by the way. I speak at shows around the U.S. And if you live in Fort Wayne and this is your home and garden show, you might not realize you have one of the larger and one of the finest home and garden shows in America. And I'm not just saying that to make friends. This is better than many major cities' home and garden shows.
Yes, and so much to offer, including
I do like
garden kits.
Yeah, and that's what I'll be doing on stage all 4 days. One of my very popular talks this year around the country is gardening for the birds, bees, and butterflies. So we're going to talk about attracting birds to your yard. And then we'll get into pollinator gardens and the butterflies and the bees, which are so important. But I thought I'd just show you a few things about, birding. You don't have to be a gardener to start attracting birds to your yard, and you'll love it. The kids love it, the grandkids love it, but there are some tips I give that will help you attract more birds. For instance, if you just hang a bird feeder, this is a standard cylinder bird feeder. You would fill this with black oil sunflower seed, which is probably the #1. If you only have one type of bird food, use that. You can see rather large holes. Now, have you ever eaten a sunflower seed?
Not black oil, but yes, sunflower seeds.
All right, but how do you open it? You crack it with your teeth. This is only going to attract large-billed birds. It's sunflower seed. You're going to get this. All right, what about the many, many birds, finches, etc., that have a smaller beak? So you add a second feeder, and you can see from the mesh here, this is going to hold tiny seed. So now you're going to start developing different bird varieties in there. All right. You might know about platform feeders, and this is kind of a neat one. All right. What's the difference? Why do I need this?
Is this like a fellowship for the birds?
It's the fellowship of birds. Really? This will now attract birds that feed on the ground. All right, you know, your cardinals principally and robins. But the neat thing here is you've got this so that when it rains, your seed doesn't get all wet. So now you've got large-beaked birds. Oh, and these, incidentally, these are going to attract birds that typically are going to feed in shrubs. All right, so they're hung. Now, hanging, you have a platform feeder. The birds aren't smart enough to realize that if it's on a shepherd's hook or if it's up in the air. They don't question it and go, hey, that isn't really the ground. No, they see a flat surface. They come in and land. Now, what about birds that feed in the trunks of trees? Things like woodpeckers, a number of other ones. All right, that's what a suet feeder is for. Because now birds that regularly peck at insects, and they're not always making noise because there's insects in there. They're feeding on sap. They're feeding on nutrients in the bark. So as you can see, 4 different types of bird feeders. Now you're going to have the brotherhood of birds, or the fellowship of birds. You're going to attract wide varieties. I should mention Milan Center Feed and Grain is an exhibitor here at the show, booth 931, and I do need to mention them because they let me steal a bunch of their cool feeders.
So Don, I have a question for you. So these items attract birds outside of having some flying friends. Why would people want birds to come to their yard?
It's great for the environment. People, you know, I have a friend who retired, and he and his wife, they're birders, and they have the photog, you know, the cameras. They'll go on birding trips to an island off of Texas because during the bird migration, that's the first place that this species of bird. So people check off the list. So people who love birds, I mean, you know, they're gorgeous. They can fly, something we can't do. And attracting birds to your yard, people just get into it and they start to learn the bird varieties. Another important tip,
Okay.
I didn't bring a bird bath here because that was a little bulky. Add a bird bath. Birds, you know, do we like to drink water and liquids when we eat? Yes, birds do too.
Okay.
You will then, the final step to greatly increase your bird population is a bird bath. One of the oldest, as a landscape designer, one of the oldest tricks in the book. Place the bird bath in one side of the yard, the bird feeders in the other, the patio in the middle, and you can watch the birds fly across your backyard.
Okay, well those are wonderful tips. Thank you so much, Don.
Thank you.
Yes, so you have to check out Don on the main stage as he gives multiple tips for attracting birds, bees, butterflies, and so much more. We'll be right back.